All right, Detroit, good morning, good morning, good morning. We got a special guest in studio. I'm going to let Angie introduce her to you, but she is sleeves rolled up, boots on the ground. She is a definite community activist, helping people change their lives. With that said, we move on, well, to who she is and where'd she come from. And here's Angie Starr to introduce her.
She's from my side of town, West Side, Detroit. Yeah, Cole Street, I think. I want to introduce you guys to Tonesa. Did I say that correct?
Yeah.
Tonesa Welch. All over social media right now, titled the First Lady of BMF, and also trending the fact that you have a story biopic that has been greenlit by BET, all about your life, and it's going to be Judge Greg Mathis is going to be the executive producer. Talk to us about that, and welcome and congratulations.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Angela and Miss. Good morning, Detroit.
And T, did you know Greg growing up?
I didn't know Greg growing up, but amazing story about Greg. When I was in prison, I had a son that I left in Los Angeles, California. He was a young son. Went to prison. He was just out of high school. And the Mathis family took him on like one of their own.
Oh, no kidding.
Yes, just took him in, made sure his holidays, his birthdays, amazing. And then after that, that's when I met the Mathis family. But yeah.
So talk about how did it come about that there be a possible biopic?
From Judge Mathis and A. Smith and Company and BET. They called me up and said, hey, we loved your Trap Queen stories. What about doing a biopic? And I was like, what? Yes.
Wow.
What? My story? Yeah, so I was really, really excited about that. I mean, it's a true story, inspired, about me. This, like you said, a girl on Coral Street from Detroit. Yeah. That don't happen often, right? Eminem and what, the BMF story, and now my story. Well, we did do the 50 Cent, Big 50 story. So, yeah, we got some amazing stories coming out of Detroit.
Detroit superstar.
Yes.
So let's start with Trap Queens, because that's when I first, saw your story and got to know you. I feel like we sisters, but we'll get
by
there
the way,
later,
T, she was so excited
Yes.
to see it.
I'm so
And there she was. She walked right by you at the thing.
I'd be right.
And I didn't know.
Yeah, but how did Trap Queens come about? What happened?
Again, Judge Mathis. They were doing the Trap Queen series, and they reached out to me and asked me to do it. It took, they were twisting my arm a little bit because I wasn't used to telling my story. And so I'm so happy that I did it. It has branded me and taken me to places that I couldn't even really imagine, And it did help me just spiritually, mentally, physically, just to get all that out. And, my story, and it's inspiring, it can help some young girls who are facing the same obstacles that I was facing.
There are some people who are listening and saying, Mace, I don't know her story. What is her story?
My story is I was part of this drug organization, big drug crime organization, and everybody knows now, called BMF. It's on Starz, produced by 50 Cent. And I was called the First Lady of BMF, and I was a part of that organization. I also was incarcerated, went to prison on it, my story started back in the 80s. I started with H, who was my ex-husband. He was in the drug game. Then years later, I met Southwest T, developed a relationship with him, and that's our story, from the rise and the fall of BMF. I rose with them and fell with them and ended up in prison. And so now my story is to show young girls, hey, all the beauty and glory, and glamour, here it comes, it can fall, so hey. I'm here to tell them my story, and hopefully it can help them.
And that's
not make the same mistakes.
That's what I love about you, your transparency in all of your interviews. Now, the character BMF, I think her name is Markeisha, is played by Lala Anthony. Did Lala contact you?
No, she didn't. But Lala is doing an amazing job this season. I'm so happy for her. No, she didn't. We didn't speak. But that's okay. That comes from maybe the network. So one day, maybe, hopefully, we could sit down and have tea, and talk about it, it would be an honor to me. She did, portray parts of my character, even though, some facts and some fiction, but it's okay, but I would love to talk to her and share, some real insight, my truth.
Well, they got one part right. Y'all both pretty. So.
Oh, thank you.
They got that right.
That's what I was happy about. Also, I said, at least if it has to have somebody betray me as somebody as beautiful as her. You know?
Right. And my thing about the BET, the Starr series of BMF, that's what I want to say, is they say it's not all based on truth. So when I listen to your interviews and get the real story and see how it really went down, it is so intriguing. That's why I was so excited to hear that you're going to actually be able to do your own movie. What will be differences? What will we see? Give us a little look into that.
It would just be a story from my eyes. Everyone has their own story and the way they see things. But what would be different is coming from me, a woman, a mother, who really lived it. And a lot of women don't live it at that level. So I want to tell my story because men tell their story differently. They want to highlight their story different. They don't talk about the women too much. So that's why I'm so happy about this. I get a chance to tell my story, my truth. And
it's nothing better than the truth.
And right,
and God knows who to use to teach the truth as those vessels. And that's something also that I'm impressed about when it comes to you, the organizations and your outreach. Talk to that. You do a lot of speaking to women that have been incarcerated out.
Yeah, because I love to reach back. I love to reach back and help I call them my sisters, and that in prison and incarcerated. Not even them. I love talking to the youth before they end up where I ended up at. You know what I mean? Because people see it and they think it's all glamorous, it's all fun, and it's not. It's dark, it's dangerous. It's not a life you want to live. And then when you get there and you end up in prison, it's almost too late. But I'm not going to even say too late because I had a second chance. No, I'm going to say 9 chances. God been with me, honey, a long time. When I look back at all the chances he has given me, so I can say I was fortunate, blessed that he had brought me through. And I'm here today and to be able to tell my story. A lot of women won't make it this far, especially, I was a woman of domestic violence.
Yes.
And that's one of the highest rated, things for women, death right now. So I was very lucky. I keep saying lucky, blessed. Very
but
blessed.
God, I know he planned on using you.
Yes.
Again, in one of the interviews, you said that, you and your husband or at that time had a fight. Mm-hmm. And you thought that maybe that night you might take his life. And it didn't go down like that, and you were thankful. But then you said that you went back to him,
right?
And you said it's that cycle. And a lot of people that are in that situation don't want to be real with the thought patterns. But women that are in that need women to be real so we can deal with it.
Yeah. When I was going through it at a younger age, it wasn't even talked about it. We had that syndrome. You don't tell your business in a home, And now I want women to know that's nothing. Don't live in that kind of cycle no more. Make sure you talk to people. Don't be shamed. And I think that's what kept me in the shame. No, I'm gonna beat this. I'm gonna change him. You can't change him. Only thing you could do is change yourself, and it'll be okay. Just step out there, and I promise you it'll be okay. I would never want another woman to go through what I went through, and it's when I tell you. Speaking to women, it's a lot of women that go through it. That's shame. People shame you from talking about it. And if we help another woman and say, hey, it's okay. I understand what you're going through. I can help you. Let's talk about it. Let me help find you some resources, instead of shaming a woman. When I was, like I said, back then I was being shamed. And I kept going back. I didn't understand. I didn't understand that I could be helped or there's help out there for me because I didn't want to talk about it. And, I stayed in it because a lot of times people say, well, what made you stay in it? I don't understand why I stayed in it, But I'm here to talk about it today. It's help out there. You don't have to be ashamed. It's people that you could talk to, to reach out to. You know, get out of those situations. It's not a good situation for yourself or your children.
Oh, I love that. You know, I grew up Mason on the West Side. And again, listening to her interviews, she said when she first, because she's from the West, she went to the East to the Rooster Tail. And I remember living in the West and going, I went to the Climax, but that's different.
Well,
Okay.
I ended up at the Climax. I ended up at the Climax, the East Side.
You know,
I was, girl, me and my girls popping in that car like that from that one Rooster Tail party. The East Side was my hangout. Yes, we had to go.
But what I like is because, again, being in this industry, doing clubs, I used to host Nikki's all the time. So I saw the young girls, 21s, I saw them with the jug boys and hanging out in the glitz, the glamour. And I see them, looking up and wanting it. But then for you to be a boss, because in Detroit you are a boss. They love you, like everybody loves you.
Thank you.
And you're beautiful.
Thank you.
But I like the fact that you don't just stay there. You say, yeah, that was glamorous, but it's a dark side to it also. And you share your truths with that. Can you speak to that? I love that.
People don't understand. They look at all the glitz and the glamour, but it's very dark. Anything that happens, like with your mate, that happens to you. If he got beef, you got beef. If it's feds after him, most times they're gonna be after you. It's a real dark world. So I like to tell people now, don't follow those traits. You don't want to live that. You don't want to have to worry about if you're talking on your phone. You don't want to have to worry if you pulling in your driveway if the jacker's gonna get you and your kids, because it's not an easy life. You take on all of that. And me coming up, I don't know what made me in my mind want to do that or thought that I could do a man's job like that in the streets. It's nothing you want to do. I can say that. But what I say now, I like to teach kids about entrepreneurship, like back then, for some reason in Detroit, in my mind, I thought, okay, we can go to the the plants or be in the streets. I didn't have dreams and goals. All I wanted to do once I got out of high school, I went to that one party. I wanted to be with the dope boys. I wanted to do all that. But now these young kids have so many opportunities, so many things in front of them, so many chances, so many, people that are willing to mentor you. So I said, dream, set goals. Dream other than that. That's a dead end. That's really a dead end. You know what I mean? So it's so many other things that you could, what they got now? Everything. People are owning stores now, businesses, becoming realtors, hairdressers. Everything now is you can make money from other than being in the streets, because it's one way. Either it's death or prison. And I'm telling you, prison is nowhere you want to go.
Well, I do want to say this. Hell, I know all this. She is a boss, but not the boss from the story that she just told.
Talk, man.
I know her as a boss for helping kids.
Come on.
Yeah.
So and where's the dog?
The dog.
Damn it! Yeah. Little dog under the table.
All right, you remember the dog.
Where's the dog?
Yes. The dog is at home.
She's at home.
She's at home. Walk me to the door looking like I can't go. No, not today, baby, because I take the dog everywhere.
Yes.
Take the
And the
dog.
She's got a
dog
dog
just
like, what is her dog like?
like your dog.
Like Bogart.
She's a rescue.
You
A
rescued her.
And she is so smart.
And polite.
She thinks, I'm her mother. Or her
Yes.
grandmother. I am her mother, and that's my child.
It's a beautiful dog. And the dog allowed us to have the meeting. The dog allowed me to play with her and pet her. And then when the meeting started, the dog retreated back to her and just sat there
It sat there.
till we finished the meeting. Now, when I say she's a boss, she wanted to help these kids so bad. We're in this deep conversation. The thing is sold out, and these people were calling, and the rest of the people in the room was saying, okay, that's it. They can't get it. Not her. Not her. She's like, no, we can get them in. Tell them to call this. Da-da-da. Then they said, well, these people, we get them in too. We get them in. And she had it together. I had to call back and say, who was that? She is so good. And then I asked you, I said, you're going to be there, right? She said, I'm running it. She recreated a general program so that it would benefit young people in Detroit. It's like when you meet her, it's all you ever know. That's all I knew. When I saw her today, I was like, she looks like
The lady you saw.
and it's her. And you're a Bible story.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to say. You're a Bible story.
Yeah. When I was in prison, that's the only thing I talked about. I think that was my turning point. That was a time to reflect on my life, and all the things that I had been doing wrong for so long. So I said when I came out of prison, I was going to serve. I was never returned back here. My mother, my children, friends, society would not see me returning back to prison. And that was going to be my journey when I come out, to help the community that I failed at, help them, help the kids, anybody that I can reach out to. I think that my journey, I used to say, always, what's my gift? What's my gift? I couldn't sing, I can't dance, anything like that. But my gift is to serve.
And you do it.
Yeah.
You do it in a big way.
Thank you.
I was impressed. I was like,
Thank you.
oh, I said, Rachel, tell me who that is again. And then I kept saying, now she's going to be there. Because if you weren't there, those people were not getting in. And your patience inside the event to help guide the event, I said, oh, this right here is the real deal.
Thank you.
So thank you for blessing the city like this. Had no idea. But your passion for your work. And then I put you on another project, and Horatio said, Mace, she busy. She doing. I said, well, why can't we get her to do this one? The next one, Mace, because she's involved in some things. That's how passionate and how good she is. Because me, as an individual, I want it done. If you claim that that's what you're doing, then I want it. And so that was her approach to what we were doing. So I went back. It was another project. I went back. I said, man, Rachel, you got to get that lady we had, man. You got to get her. Oh, man, she involved. So bless you. I'm thinking, I know we've talked about what we came to talk about, but I'm here to say thank you for what you did. She premiered a little baby documentary here in Detroit.
Talk about it.
And she took it, shook it up, changed it, rearranged it, and made it work for Detroit. I had these kids behind me. They were so excited to be there. You remember?
Oh, yes.
I had to go talk to each one of them. That's how excited they were to be there. I think they said they wanted to meet whomever. So I went to her. I said, they want to meet and she said, okay. She just kept moving it. She was not doing an event. That was her heart. She put her heart in there. And
It was a collaboration, though. It was
Yeah,
tough cookies.
yeah,
and
we were all-
Horatio. I
yeah,
can't
yeah,
take it
yeah,
out.
yeah.
But it was,
But we went to you.
everything I do put all my heart in it. I'm very passionate
All your heart.
about my work.
that was
Very
fun.
passionate.
So thank you for pulling
Thank
that
you.
off.
I didn't mean to cut you up, but thank you. I want credit to for everyone that,
Oh,
was
yeah.
involved.
Everybody, yeah. We did that,
Everyone.
too.
We did that. We did that,
that
though,
too.
didn't we?
But that was so much
That
fun.
was so much fun. It was talked about for weeks. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad for you.
Thank you.
Because you are deserving.
Thank you.
That is, you do some real work out here.
Thank you.
So good. I can't wait for the movie.
Yeah,
Yes.
speaking of real and reality, that's my thing with the whole BMF series. I love it. I watch it all the time. But I want truth because it's from my hometown.
Yes.
And I want to know what really happened. And I want to know about women that grew up in my same neighborhood and how what their stories are like, because I'm like that. And I am looking forward to this biopic. I personally open our airwaves to you. We want, you to know that this is your family. And the fact that you care enough about a city to be transparent and share the good and the bad. A lot of people like to brag about the good, but people like to keep that little other stuff in the closet.
Yeah.
I respect you. I thank God for you. When I first saw the interview, I think it was on Vlad TV.
I did the Vlad
Yeah.
Trap Queen. Yes.
I was speechless because I know the strength and the special DNA we have in Detroit. But for you, again, to share your story, you are going to help so many people, period. Women, people, you're just going to help people with your story, and I thank you. Is there anything else you would like to say?
Just I thank everyone. I thank everybody for embracing me. You know, like it's not often people give you, like I say, I'm past second chances. You know, so I want to be I'm thankful for everybody that has embraced me and accepted who I become. So thank you.
A gift from God.
They got to see you work, though.
Period.
I work.
She is so passionate about working.
I feel like if I could put all that energy into my past, everything I did in my past, I know I can be greater in my future and in everything
You are.
that is ahead of me. That I keep pushing. It's been
I would have never
hard.
connected the two.
Thank you.
I couldn't connect the two.
Thank you. I love that.
In fact, after interviewing you, I might have went back and said, "Hey, we can do this big thing. Get that girl to Horatio. She can put this together for us. She can put together a program for us so that it can reach so many people. But you are it. So you are the Bible story today.
Yeah, I'm glad I don't wear everything that I went through.
Yeah,
You don't.
And I want everybody to know you can come back from anything.
And that's the beauty,
Anything.
babe.
If you wake up the next day, hey, it's another chance to be great, just do something different.
So, I'm watching the documentary, and I said, we're doing 313 Day. Remember we were doing the whole 313 thing? And I was like, I want to find people in Detroit that I feel really represent 313 and really care about the city. And that's how you came up. Because I was like, that's what I want. That's true Detroit. She is that whole deal. And I got to tell you, everybody in Detroit, when I reached out, I want to say within 10, 15 minutes, she got back and kept
Well,
her
they came
word
up to
and
me
been
at
with
the
us.
game.
Right, you came to work the next day. It was like, Angie, who you contacted? What's up? Go ahead.
6 people came. Hey, mate, she ready. She ready when y'all want to do it. I'm like, oh, what are you talking about? But yeah, that's the kind
From
of
my
love.
heart.
I
You
don't
part
play
of it.
by my city.
No, you
Honey,
don't. No, you
I
don't.
left and came back. This is my city.
You gonna
I
do
don't
a
let
book?
Nobody talk about my city.
You gonna do a book?
Oh yeah, the book is coming.
Okay.
The book is coming, and a lot more. I'm doing a book. I'm doing a health line. I'm starting a production company. So I have a lot of exciting things coming up.
you a
I'm gonna be
worker.
working.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be
you a worker. You a worker.
And I'm going to introduce her dog to Bogart. You think maybe? No. I'm just playing.
I don't think it's gonna have puppies.
Yeah, you know what, Mason? I swear, when I looked at her and I was walking out the door, she just make me feel so bad when I'm leaving her. I said, maybe I could take you and you could sit in the car. Then I said, it's too cold.
No, you know, but if you knew you were coming here, you knew because of you could have brought her.
Yes.
Yeah.
What's her
when
name?
when you come back, you're gonna bring her.
You know her name is? She's a rescue. We found her. My son found her, brought her to me. Her name is, he said, what you want to name? Cash Money. That's her
That's
name.
her name. Yeah, that's right. That's her
That's
name.
Cash. I'll be
Cash.
like, come on,
Cash.
Cash
Yeah,
Money.
that's
Let's
Cash.
go. Let's roll, baby.
But thank you for coming.
Yes.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
And you will be back because we're going to do some
Oh,
major
yeah.
projects
Hey,
together. You part of our
yes,
team, period.
Thank you.
She can run the project. I'm telling you. She can run
And
the
it's hard to
I'm
impress
so game. I'm so game for it.
You down with it, baby. All right.